Hey, today's connection quickie is all about learning to calm down in just seconds. And we need to do this because we get in those fights with our partners or our bosses or our siblings or whoever, and we start getting very agitated and we stop thinking clearly. We stop being able to problem solve well. We get defensive, frustrated, resentful, angry, anxious, all that good stuff. None of that stuff is going to help you get your point across, come to some sort of understanding, have mutual, effective listening. All that's out the window when you're in that stress state. So, which most of us are when we're in some sort of dispute or argument or whatever it might be. So there's 3 super quick, I'm talking seconds, they take seconds, things you can do that are going to calm your system so that you can think more clearly. All right. Number 1 is the shoulder shrug. So when you are gonna think about, 200,000 years ago or even 1 year ago, if you're gonna fight, if you're about to fight someone, what would happen? You would go like this. You'd bring up the energy, get yourself ready. So when you raise your shoulders like that, you start to breathe out of your chest instead of your belly. Okay, so when this happens, what happens is our brain sees this ancient hardwiring we have in the brain, thinks of this as fight, flight, or freeze, that we're about to fight. We're gonna run, or we're gonna stay real still. And so the part of our brain that's got problem solving and good thinking and healthy judgment and gratitude and appreciation and all that good stuff, that part of the brain is shut off while this part is on. And it makes sense, right? If we were running from a tiger, if our ancestors were running from a tiger, you don't sit and problem solve as the tiger's running at you. You just react, you just go. And that's why the brain is built that way. So one of the things you have to watch is your shoulders all day. And doing this, driving's the worst, right? Because you're up like that. So lowering our shoulders is really important. And my favorite thing is the shoulder shrug. And basically, and if you've watched any of my stuff before, you've heard about it, but now you get to see it. It's basically this. You're gonna raise your shoulders, you're gonna scrunch them all the way up to your ears. You're gonna stick out your chest and pull your shoulders back and down and put your little wings, your scapula together in the back, and then just relax your shoulders. And it feels good right now. When we're about to fight, we're gonna fight someone, neurotransmitters and hormones start getting released. So adrenaline and cortisol, which is stress-inducing hormone, all these things get released again so that we can run really quickly from that tiger. And we don't need that when we're arguing with our partner or our boss, or we're just feeling like we got put on the spot and we're feeling defensive. It doesn't even have to be an argument. Whatever that is that's making us feel anxious, we start to do this. And when you start to breathe up, and all that happens. So doing the shoulder shrug and making sure your shoulders are down is an amazing, so quick, what did that take? Took seconds, way to stop that entire response system and get your system calmed down so that you can use this other part of your brain and remember all those great tools that Abby taught you in her last video. The other thing I want you to do is notice where your tongue is in your mouth. So a lot of us, and probably right now as I say this, you'll realize that your tongue is sitting on the roof of your mouth or pressed up against your front teeth. That is not a relaxed position. So right now, relax your tongue. Right now while you're listening to this, notice, I do this with my jaw. I kind of open my jaw and everyone can see my teeth. I open my jaw and then I relax my tongue. And because we also hold a lot of tension in our jaws and we start to get, again, that sort of thing, and then everything starts to come up. So making sure our tongue is relaxed in our mouth and our shoulders are down. And then the last thing you can do, and you can just do one or both of those and you're all set. The other thing you can do is what's called a cleansing breath. And there's lots of different definitions for cleansing breaths. Here's the one I use, is that you breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. You hold for a count of 5, and you exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. And so you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And you do that. And that cleansing breath is another way to just draw attention to your breath, again, to calm the system, to get everybody back online. Whenever we take any kind of deep breath, we sort of stimulate our vagus nerve, which is a part of us that helps calm, calm everything down. So these are, again, all really good things. And even just taking a nice deep breath. But again, make sure you don't take a deep breath and keep your shoulders up. So those are the tips for today to help you get calm like that physically so that your brain can work and you can really use strategies, tools, tips, all that great stuff, and just come from love, compassion, and gratitude when you're talking to someone. That's it for today. If you want any more tips or tricks, should subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. And you could hear these things. You can also, if you want to be part of my weekly community, I send out a weekly newsletter, and you can subscribe on my website, abbymedcalf.com. That's it for today. See you guys next time.